Okay, Lash Babes, before we get started, you need a lash tray setup. This is everything you'll need to get started. So first, here you have your tweezers, your volume, your isolation tweezers, and also your classic tweezers. You also have scissors over to the right and your dental mirror. This is to visualize what you're doing, making sure your isolation is correct and no gaps. And also this whatever tweezer is what I like to call it. And this is just to grab glues, tapes, and things like that off the roll, and I'll show you that later. Next, you have the micro swabs here, and the micro swabs are used to apply cleanser, primer, or any type of cleaning agent for the eyelash extension. You have your lash wash brush and gloves. You have the lash extensions themselves, and also a dryer here. And also this little cute thing here that I love. It's a facial mister, or people call it a nano mister, but you put filtered water, and this is to have the glue adhere or dry when you're doing the lash extensions. That is so cool. I love that. Also, you have your sanitizer, and you sanitize your hands if you're touching things on the outside of the paper towel. Also, you have your Lash Fresh, basically eyelash wash. You can get any eyelash wash. I like Lash Fresh because it's organic. And under eye pads, also scissors to cut tape. And you have your plastic tape here. You also have the famous Nichiban tape, which I love. This is like one of my favorite tapes. It really adheres the bottom lashes down. And it gives a nice, firm, solid hold so the iPad isn't moving and you don't have to worry about the bottom lashes sticking to the top. You also have your micropore tape. Oh, okay. Micropore tape here. And that is what you use for your lash tray. You also have your cream remover, which is good to remove lash extensions, seamlessly. And also your permanent marker to mark your iPad. And now you have the glue. I mean, literally, this is like the lifeblood of our business. If you don't have glue, I don't know what you have, sis. We also have the cleanser from London Lash. It's a really good cleanser, and it helps get rid of the oil buildup on the lash line. Now, I know you're wondering, what is this? White paper towel, and then we also have a pink dental bib. The difference is that the pink dental bib separates from the white paper towel, so that way we know that this is our sterilized area. So anything in this white paper towel is our sterilized area, and this is what we use to touch the clients with. So anytime you're touching, tape or the glue bottles and you're dripping glue on the lash tray, you always want to make sure that even though you have on gloves, you want to make sure that you grab your hand sanitizer with your gloves on, put it a little in your hand and rub it together, and make sure you cleanse your hands before you go back and touch the tweezers or the lash tray and touch the client. Anything in this outside perimeter, we want to make sure that we use the hand sanitizer, okay? Seriously, this is really important. Going back and forth with the client with the tweezers and the lashes is okay, but anything on the outside of the perimeter, please sanitize your hands before you go back and deal with the client. Seriously. Lash extensions, once pulled out of the box, sit on the side of the client. The reason why we have the lash extensions sitting outside of the sterilized area is simply for the purpose of this video. Okay, Lash Babes, now for the fun part. Make sure you wash your hands, apply your gloves. Please don't touch anything before you apply your gloves. And make sure you also have your under eye pad ready, so that way you can apply the Nichiban tape to it, so that way we can secure those bottom lashes. Also, too, you want to make sure you put the headband on the client, so that way your hand and their head is not touching each other. This is a Nichiban tape. Get your whatever tweezers or some grabbing tweezers or tweezers you don't care about. Apply the iPad to the tape, cutting the access tape around the edges and applying the access tape on a sterilized or clean lash tray, and cutting inside of the iPad leaving about 4 to 5 millimeters of space to make sure that they adhere to the natural lash. Now take your iPad with the tape that's on it, get your whatever tweezers and peel that off. Make sure the smallest part of the iPad goes into the inner corner of the eye. Here's another example of me peeling it off with the tweezers that I really don't care about, and making sure that the inner part, the smallest part, is on the inner corner. On the next video, I will show you a live example of the access tape that goes on the outside of the lashes, and an example why we need to do that. Very gently, you want to make sure that you pull the mask down from the client, apply the pad with the Nichiban tape that's sticking on it onto the bottom lashes. On the outside of her lashes, there are still some lashes that are exposed that need to be covered. So you want to take that access tape that you cut off of the iPad and use that to cover the outer edge of the bottom lashes. Beautiful. You put that on smoothly, let that sit, make sure the client is comfortable. Always asking, is this comfortable? Because sometimes you can apply it too far up the lash line. Now what I'm using is the plastic tape, pulling up the extra skin from the top layer of the lashes to make sure that all lashes are exposed so that I can see the lashes clearly and not making a mistake of lashing incorrectly or applying glue to the skin, which is terrible. All right, now it's time to map. This is very important when making sure that the client designs are symmetrical and fit their eye shapes. So you want to take the last lash and the very first lash, identify those and split that down the middle. And then now you can break down the lengths that you need for the client to make sure that their cat eye or doll eye style comes out perfect for their eye shape. Also too, on the lash tray, there are numbers on the side of the tray, so that way you can know which extension to grab and what length, so you can stay on track. Taking your micropore tape, you want to make sure that you cover the last tray on top of it, 2 pieces of tape, so that way when you drop your lash adhesive onto it, it will not seep through and stick to the lash tray. That is a cool method that I love to use. See here, you see the glue. Make sure you shake it up for at least 30 seconds. Drip it, bloop, onto the lash tray, and wiping it clean with the makeup sponge. And lash. Nope, not lashing yet. Take your mascara wand, make sure you brush the lashes out and you know they're nice and even. Taking your cleanser and your micro swabs, make 1 drip on top of those. Shake out the excess product off of the micro swabs, and then you can start to clean the lash line from any excess oils. This is important. You want to make sure not only do you do it in the beginning of the treatment, you want to make sure that you do this process 30 minutes, every 30 minutes. So now it's time to lash. Now here's a closer look at the inner corners. The reason why I wanted to show this is because the inner corners are super important. They're the smallest and they deserve the smallest lengths. Anything over 8 millimeter will cause irritation and also damage the natural lashes. They are the most fine and the most short and should be taken care of properly. Yes, now that is beautiful. And this is high-level disinfection. You must clean your tools in between each and every client, making sure that you immerse your tools inside of high-level disinfectant solution, leaving it in the recommended time for the bottle or the sanitation that you choose, rinsing it off, putting it in a dry and clean storage container.